What's up, everybody? FSC Trucking. We got a busy week this week. Actually, today's Friday. We're actually getting ready to head to Waxahachie, Texas with that striker that I loaded yesterday. Last week we were running a bunch of, just call it regional freight for Crystal Miller and keeping Black Dog busy while we're working on Orwell. But right now what we got to do is service Black Dog, get ready to roll. So, I mean, we've been running Black Dog hard, but he's tired. He needs a little bit of rest and R&R. You don't get to get that. But you do get to get a new oil change, grease job, and all of that. I got Jen holding the camera. She's going to help me out a little bit today. More along the line of just trying to film as I frantically work rather than actually partake in the work. But I'm sure she'll be helpful which way I need her. So either way, I think the idea is basically to kind of follow me with the camera, and I'll edit and I'll try to make it as interesting as heck, because I think where it's going to play out is service the truck, and then we're going to bounce on to driving to Texas and delivering that striker out there. So with that, let's go ahead and get this whole thing started. What's up, everybody? Steve here. Hey, listen, I got some real exciting news for you guys coming up here. We've picked up a new sponsor to help us with Black Dog here, and that's 4 State Trucks. That's right, Chrome Shop Mafia. That's right, boys and girls. The friends of ours over at Chrome Shop Mafia, 4 State Trucks, they're gonna help me with getting Black Dog looking from mild to wild. So that's coming up in time. But also, think about it. What's the perfect truck show for me? I've never been there before, but I'm really excited to go. Plan is we're bringing Black Dog. That's right, me? Yeah. Guilty by Association Truck Show, GBATS. We're going there. That's September 25, 26, and 27. Right there, Chrome Shop Mafia. The way it's explained to me is me and my YouTuber friends, we're gonna be right underneath the mob sled sign. You remember that thing, right? Well, right underneath the mob sled sign, we're gonna be there at the Guilty by Association Truck Show, September 25, 26, and 27. Black Dog, oh man, Black Dog's gonna look a little different by the time we get to that show. So yeah, go ahead, check that out. I'm excited to be there. So absolutely, Guilty by Association Truck Show. Me, Black Dog, and a bunch of my YouTuber friends gonna be there underneath the mob sled sign. Come check us out. Joplin, Missouri, September 25, 26, 27. You can't miss it. Let's go. It's been very humid. The shop floor has been sweating. I parked the truck yesterday. It was raining. So shop floor is wet and moist. It's just gonna be a nasty day. It is what it is. Let's just get on with it, right? All right. First service I've ever done on a 60 series Detroit. That's what's in Black Dog. Most people may or may not know. That's a 60 series Detroit. And this is normally a house of Caterpillar. Really ain't a good spot to put this light. All right, let's let that drain. Ow! Great, now I'm dirty or bleeding, or both.
I'm dirty.
Oh, I need clean ones. They're in the pickup still. Yep. Oh well. We'll go grab me the clean ones, maybe.
I will.
Go ahead.
Should I pause this?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go get the rags. And they're on the other side, of course. New rags.
Got them?
Got them.
Alright, we'll change the fuel filters next. I feel like I just did this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you helped me a little bit with that. Were you here for that?
I was.
Yeah.
It was like 1 a.m. before we left
Yeah,
here.
it was late. We fixed got Orwell done, and then we changed fuel filters, and it went on a bunch of runs. Typically, fuel filters got to be changed, at least the way we've been doing it here. It didn't used to be that way, but every service, in the middle of the service, you have to change your fuel filters in the middle. Say a service is like oil interval, right, like 20,000 miles. Now, we don't idle because we got green APU, but we change oil about 20,000-ish, give or take. Typically just out and back, figure out and back how many times. When I was running regular with Widmeyer, it's like out and back, it's like 1,000 out, 1,000 back. It might be 1,200, 1,500, all depending on where I'm going, right? But in the end, you're looking at about service interval, about 20,000 for oil, and about halfway, you have to change your fuel filters. If you don't, they jam up. I used to be able to run 20,000 miles without having to change fuel filters, but I don't know if it's the biofuel and the algae in the fuel or something changed. Maybe, I don't know. When we started running Orwell about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, first year running Orwell, we did okay with filters. Towards the end, we were getting gummed up, but yeah, by about first year running Orwell, we were changing filters consistently. And then when I bought Black Dog, I ran it until it started giving me trouble. And sure enough, somewhere like the 12,000, 13,000 range, the engine won't run properly because the filters are gummed up. So it's not just the truck, it's not Orwell, it's not Black Dog, it's all of them. But we are running extended oil services because we don't idle. Fuel filters. We got our new fuel filters here. So this one, ironically, it's a Napa part number, 3406, right? For a 60 series Detroit, it's a Caterpillar block number. So we'll change this out next. And the other one's up under the frame. That's just 3120. Fish this little over here. I gotta fish this little O-ring off, and that gets replaced with the new one. All right, so the new O-ring's sitting there right there on the filter. Set you down. Dipping in the old fuel, just voicing it. I mean, it had something on there, kind of like a baby powder kind of thing. I don't know if anybody ever did tubes on a tire, like a bike tire. My dad always used to tell me to use baby powder. It sounds like a cruel way to make powder. What do they make baby powder out of?
Ground up babies.
No!
Yeah.
All right, new filter. Now in this container is diesel.
It's drippy.
Yeah. Prestone bug wash doesn't drip out of that very well. The surface tension on diesel is obviously very different than Prestone bug wash. But that's the gallon container I have. It's a lot easier doing that than using the 5-gallon pail that comes from the Quick Trip. Alright, so I just put a little bit of fuel on the O-ring on the top. Also, make sure the old one came off with the O-ring, because sometimes they will come off on the housing, and then you'll look real stupid wondering what happened. Right there's your instructions on how to do it. Take it off, fuel it, lube it, spin it, contact +1 turn. That seems unbelievably tight. There's contact. I just crank on it by hand. That's plenty. All right, that's the fuel water separator one. The primary filter, as Jen sees, the white right under there. That's on the engine housing itself. Now on some Peterbilts, this is a canister, not a spin-on filter. But on this particular Peterbilt, it's a spin-on type. My other 99 that had the cat, it had the canister style. The problem with this one is it's hard to get at everything because there's just, everything's kind of in the way. Now this one doesn't have that center O-ring like the water separator one does. You see the O-ring did come with it, right there on the top. It won't fit between there. There we go. There it goes. All right. Let's set this down over here for now. Pitch those up so they drain, and that'll get dumped with the waste oil. All right, open up our new one. Fill it with diesel. I don't know about this one, these Detroits, how picky they are, or if they are or not. My Caterpillar in my 99, if you didn't get absolutely every air bubble out of that thing, that was a 7CZ engine, the C16. If you didn't get every air bubble out of that system, it would lose its prime and stumble and die. I'm pretty sure these Detroits are self-priming for, I'm gonna say, the most part. I don't think they're as picky as that Caterpillar system is. Orwell, I never really tried. I've always filled them up and then ran the primer pump until it was absolutely full. See, now it's almost over full because there ain't no way I'm gonna put this in without making a mess. See, I'm talking too much. There. Dribble just a little bit. Fun part of this one is just sneaking it in there without banging it into crap and getting dirt all over it. Rest it, slide my hand down, find it, spin it. Same with the other one. Wipe it off as if it's not going to get soaked with oil later. All right, well, now if this was like just a filter change service, fire it up. I don't want to do that. There's no oil in it. We'll fire it up later once we put oil in it. Excellent. is your old engine oil. All right, unlike the Caterpillars, Detroit's got two oil filters. One right behind the shackle and one right there. So we're gonna go ahead and punch a hole in them, drain them, and then change them. Years ago when I was only a driver, like literally just starting, a guy that serviced our trucks taught me this trick. Take a scratch awl or punch or something with a point and hammer through the filters. That way it'll drain. The theory is it doesn't make such a big mess when you're changing filters if you do it like that. You good, babe?
I'm good. I'm trying. It's hard to get.
There you go. Yeah, hope this is coming. You ever see Goodfellas?
Oh, did you hear about the points we were shaving up in Boston?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's terrific, yeah. Nunzio.
R.I.P. Maury.
What do you want to do? Get rid of them. Chop them up and get rid of the cop. Call me when you get through.
Remember? Sitting in the back of that Cadillac. Remember when we first moved into the shop? Big, beautiful, empty.
Clean. Very clean.
It's been getting pretty rank.
Yeah.
I think, well, hopefully I get back this after this run during a holiday weekend. Be able to actually spend some time in here. I want to get stuff straightened up, a little more fixed up. Problem is you can't clean and work at the same time. This doesn't work out that way. Oil filters, Black Dog. All right, there's the last of the stuff. Missing one.
Uh-oh.
Got it.
Okay, I was like, uh-oh.
All right, there's the last of the stuff. Got some goodies from Peterbilt too. Belts. Belts on Black Dog are kind of messed up. They're, well, they're old. Now while that drips, I'll go ahead and start changing the belts. These two are for the alternator, and then the, well, there's two sets. Alternator belt, I don't know which is which, but they are different lengths. One goes from the, oof. I guess I should have counted better. There's three, and then one for the air conditioning. Whoopsie. Damn. I guess I know what I'm doing tomorrow morning. I thought there was two in there. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. Off of the crank, there's three belts, 1, 2, and 3. And this runs its own accessory to your alternator, which is loose. And then there's one more for your air conditioning. It's not even hooked up. I thought there were two. I needed 3. Whoops. Well, I guess I changed the alternator one. That's about all we could. Oh, now stop dripping. All right, now they're done dripping.
It's hard to get in there.
That's all right. Let's get what you can. They're done dripping, so now we'll go ahead and remove these. one. And two. Now, it is not absolutely imperative that you fill these, but while the engine is filling them, the engine is running with no oil pressure. So you tell me how good that sounds on an engine. I prefer to fill them, or at least get them mostly full, right? The Caterpillar one on Orwell will take a full gallon, or just under a full gallon. It takes patience, but you could damn near get, with the exception of about a shot glass, you can get a full gallon in there. Again, this is my first 60 series that I've ever owned, so I'm unfamiliar with exactly how much they'll hold, but I'm assuming it'll take a full gallon between the two of them. It doesn't have to be absolutely full to the tippy top. Like I said, the engine will fill them, but this way the engine will pump more than a gallon with oil pressure because the filters weren't empty. If I was really being picky, I can get the whole, I mean, I don't know. What do you think, gallon and a quarter? Yeah, they're not empty. That's fine. So wipe the, just lubricate the O-ring. The wrench on it only because it's very hard to get at it. All right, now it's time to put oil in.
Both of those things go in there?
Yep. Holds 11 gallons.
Mm.
All right. 5-gallon pail number 2. I may as well go ahead and change the alternator belt. It was an assumption. I mean, worst case, I always could put 2 belts on and then leave one of the older ones on there, but they're gonna be different lengths because one's old, one's new. So that really wouldn't be all that smart. That's loose. Batteries work. Well, hand me them 2 shorties. Belts.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'll trade you.
Yay, get the dirty old ones. One made it, one missed the trash can. I have to pick that up.
See, that nut really isn't necessary. This is actually threaded.
Mm-hmm.
So some people put the nut on there because the threads in the alternator often get destroyed. So just because it was that way, there's just no swing room for this wrench unless you take that boost tube off. See how tight that gets just by, see that that's still loose? Come over my shoulder. See that's still loose? That's threaded. There's really no need for that, but I guess it's put there. I've had these strip out on like Fords, so I guess it's possible on a Peterbilt it would too. I'll put it back as it was. I've also seen them just back out, you know, just loosen up. Loctite does wonders for that. But we'll go ahead and sock it down. And the bottom too. Hinge. I don't know if I use a 3/4 inch wrench, it would work better. This tensioner one, the bolt that holds the tensioner tight goes through the gear case. There we go. All right, alternator belt's on.
Cool.
That's this thing here, I bet you. Listen. There's a bearing setup in there, I think, that this rotates on. It might be going out. It ain't the alternator, or is it? I don't know, might be the alternator. Whatever, I mean, it's charging, it works. Fixing ain't broke. There's plenty of other things that are going to go bad on this truck, probably before that even thinks about it. Man, I can't believe I made that mistake with them belts though. 3 belts, I bought 2. It's not hard to do. I can change that in the morning before I leave. So I'll do that. We'll just do an addendum to the video in the morning. Yeah, so we'll do the belts later. Okay. Now usually when I grease the kingpins, we do it with the weight off. That way you get all the grease where it needs to go in the kingpins. Some say the shackles you should do the same, but you got to lift it by the frame, which is a total pain in the neck. So we won't be doing that. Feels like I just used this. Feels like I just used this yesterday. I did. Slow that down. That pin ain't taking grease. Try the bottom one. The bottom one's taking grease, top one just comes right out the cup.
It's just gooing all out the side too.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
supposed to.
Okay.
That's the old grease coming out. See, this one, it's not supposed to come out here. It can, but there's nothing coming out here, see? Well, how much you push in, it's just coming right out the top. So, that's got to be, I mean, not today, but it's a yucko. Paper towel.
Did that work?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where the hell's the grease fitting on this? Let me do these and then I'll look for it. I see that blob coming up the front. I was looking in the back. First time I've greased this truck, so I don't really know what to expect. Timmy serviced it right before took delivery of it, so there is no grease fitting on the S-cam tube. There's a grease fitting on the slack adjuster. I found that. There's a little bit of grease coming out of the kingpin. Not a lot though. It should be a lot more than that. slack adjuster. And the front spring pin. Woof. That's tight. There's a little bit, but not, it's so little. It's probably got an issue. There's a Zerk fitting right here on this tube, right there on the inside. Found it. Let me go look on the other one. It might not be there. If it ain't, when we do brakes on it, we'll make sure it gets one. Yeah, grease is coming out between the yoke and the axle, so that's proper. S-cam, not S-cam, slack adjuster. Steering gear. Ooh. To me, there's different these show trucks and work trucks. How do you grease a show truck? Seriously, grease just gets all over everything when you grease it. How do you grease a show truck? I don't know how them boys do it.
That's a good question.
Well, I'm a firm believer in show trucks are not work trucks. Not to this extent. Some of, I mean, they could do work, don't get me wrong, but oh, not a grease. Now, some guys grease their trucks like all the time, and some guys like never grease their trucks. I'm probably the guy in the middle. Some people will grease them every time they go out and come back. Others will grease them when it's due for service. I'll grease them in the middle, and obviously when it's due for a full service. So I use the Mobil 1 synthetic. It's not an ad spot for it. It's just the fact it's a synthetic grease. You can get into that one all day. Crystal likes to use the red and tacky. I think Lucas makes that. But for me, the synthetic, it's like synthetic oil. You don't have to change it all the time. So the idea is if you don't grease as often as others, you want to use better grease if you're not going to grease all the time. That's my theory. So I guess leave a comment in the comment section on how you do. And you can tell me how dumb I am for doing it the way I do, and then I'll tell you I don't give a F. You know how comments go. Cue the music.
The hoe to settle down, I ain't your last. This ice around my neck like I don't swim. I got the chills. Whatever. I'm the breadwinner, certified go-getter. Don't compare me to these lames, cause my bag bigger. I told the girl to settle down, I ain't your layers, baby. I'm pulling up, foreign truck, look like hot sauce, baby. I'm running laps around these kids, I'm making 6 figures. I'm getting wrecks, back to back, I am a cash out. I'm dead, baby, I'm him across the map, baby. If you tell my story, tell it right, I'm dead, baby. I came through 5%, I'm hot, I come in frying. My wrist is blurry, I can't even check what time it is. I can see you hating through my Cardi lens. They done put me in the game, you let some bosses in. Lunch meat, shawty want a Sunday dinner. When I pull up in that lamb, I bet you coming with us. She tired of f***ing lanes, she wanna f***ing winner. I ain't beefing about it, cause I ain't chicken tender. I'm the breadwinner, certified go-getter. Don't compare me to these lanes, cause my bag bigger. I told the girl to settle down, I ain't your layers, baby. I'm pulling up, foreign truck, look like hot sauce, baby. I'm running laps around these kids, I'm making 6 figures. I'm getting wrecks, back to back, I am a cash out. I'm dead, baby, I'm him across the map, baby. If you tell my story, tell it right, I'm dead, baby. I got plenty motion, plenty like Hulk Hogan. Flexing your mama rent money, but you get money. My drip stay on 1,000, I ain't live for nothing. For that cash, I can have COVID and I'm still coming. I made a name off vivid plays, you better find a way. Get in with me, man, I promise that's your lucky day. Came in this to charge up, I ain't come to play. They give me daddy treatment like it's Father's Day. I'm the breadwinner, certified go-getter. Don't compare me to these lanes, cause my bag bigger. I told the girl to settle down, I ain't your layers, baby. I'm pulling up, foreign truck, look like hot sauce, baby. I'm running laps around these kids, I'm making 6 figures. I'm getting wrecks, back to back, I am a cash out. I'm dead, baby, I'm him across the map, baby. If you tell my story, tell it right, I'm dead, baby. I'm the breadwinner, certified go-getter. Don't compare me to these lanes, cause my bag bigger. I told the girl to settle down, I ain't your layers, baby.
Now here's an interesting conversation. Hand soap. I got this stuff from Napa, the cherry gel. Quite expensive. It's like 40-something bucks for that container. I think it works pretty good. I don't think Jen likes it too much though.
I think it's terrible.
Use like the regular Gojo, and it doesn't work very well.
See, I like the other stuff.
Yeah, but it don't work as good.
Well, and you. I don't even know how that works on you.
I come home pretty bad. But what do you guys use for hand soap? Years ago, I used to find this product called Baraxo. It's like with Baraxo, and it had a picture of like a 20 mule team on it, like pulling a covered wagon.
Borax?
Baraxo.
It's
B-O-R-A-X-O.
Oh.
20 mule team on it. It was powder.
Yeah.
My dad, when I was a kid, used to use a product called LOE. He used to get it from 1001 Auto Parts. And then he quit getting it. And then for years, we would get pretty nasty stuff, me and my dad, working on old greasy Fords and Datsuns. And then he would use laundry detergent, and it was terrible. It didn't work for crap. And I'd get in trouble for like not getting all cleaned up. And like, the soap is terrible. You sit there and scrub for like an hour. Not literally an hour, but you could spend, and no joke, you could spend 10 minutes to do what this stuff would do in 5. Or even less than that. And I'd get in trouble. So I'm just kind of curious what you guys think is the best soap out there for shops. There's stuff you can get here from Automotive Supply, but you have to buy the dispenser that it comes in, like a hand pump on the wall, or I just pour it in a water bottle with a hole poked in it, or use one of these when they're empty and pump them full. But yeah, that's what we used. So curious. That's funny, I'm over here sweating, Jen's over there Chilly Willy the Penguin.
I know, it was a little chilly.
Yeah, well.
And then that song was in my head.
Well, we're not putting Jen on a video today. I know I need to get a paper towel dispenser here, because everybody will light her up in the comments for a choice of shop attire today. But in fairness, she didn't know she was going to be helping, and honestly, she's not helping, she's just filming.
Thanks, I'm not helping.
Well, that is helping, but yeah, but not like the last time we were drilling holes and, you know, pushing frame rails underneath cabovers. You know, filming's good. It's easier to have you than have to set the tripod up. It speeds the process up a lot. Because literally setting up the cameras and the tripod and all that, It doubles the time. It really does. So, I mean, it is a YouTube shop after all. All right, so I'm not done yet. I just wanted to be at least reasonable while I get in Black Dog. We're gonna turn them around. It's just a lot better off if I work in the shop rather than on the apron, to be honest. So I think that's the plan. So yeah, we're gonna go, I'm gonna fire up Black Dog, turn them around, back them in, because there's a little bit more in the service. I want to adjust them lights. Right here. Check this out. I thought the belt was coming off because of the paint. The numbers, the part numbers written on the alternator belt makes it give it that appearance that it's flopping. See how them belts are dithering a little bit? That's why I want them changed. Like I said, we'll do that in the morning. Provided I can find the next one. We should be fine though. Excellent. Now I just got to do the reverse. All right, cut. All right, well, while I just park, let me go ahead and release the brakes and adjust the brakes. Obviously chop the wheels so it don't roll over you. That would probably hurt.
Yeah.
I think a buddy of mine had to happen to, actually. He was underneath the truck adjusting his brakes. His father didn't know he was under there. Reached up, fired up the truck. He used the transmission to hold it. As soon as the truck fired, it rolled right over him. So this isn't an actual endorsement for loaded fenders or big rig chrome shop, but they're on my truck, so I feel like it needs to be explained. When I first got these fenders, it was set for this truck with one trailer in mind, one. I didn't know I'd be pulling 3 or 4 of Crystal Miller's trailers and a handful of the other drivers that work with her, plus 2 trailers, both Waltrons, of Timmy Gentry. And you see what remains. But let me tell you something. They're absolutely sturdy. The first dent, I'll tell you, the first dent ever was on this side, this one here. We were trying to lift a Kalen, I think, trailer with 50,000 pounds of load on it to just move it. But it was lower in the ground than it should have been. It sank into the ground was soft, and we had to lift it up. I have the build-up ramps for my RGN, so we attempted to use that to slide under that Kalen. It shifted off to one side and got it right there. Not a big deal, it's a work truck. The other damage, these scratches here and here, that's from the blue Timmy Gentry Waltron. When I loaded that Cabover with that 1693 Cat, you had to detach that just like you do with mine. It's an RGN boat trailer, and it has rollers on the front, but the way it doesn't come up from the rollers and out, it comes out immediately in a V, and it's real close. So that trailer, while it rides up my ramps, scratched the fenders on both sides. That's that. Also, the fifth wheel is taller and slightly further back. So the ramps were built for the original fifth wheel height, not for the current height, which I wish was still taller, and the ramp should have been built a little higher up. But again, who knew? We were set it up to as it was at the time. So this is gonna have to all be redone. So as far as I'm concerned, the loaded fenders from Big Rig Chrome Shop are some sturdy and tough sons of guns. And if they're a little bit scratched here and bent there, I'm cool with it. Because they're not even close to like damage to where they don't function. And they took the beating and they still work. So maybe after I get all this fixed up, we'll get another set. Orwell's gonna get a set just like this as well. Except we'll be able to design Orwell around the fenders because it's gonna get mocked up with them. But I wanna touch base on, there's no sense in hiding that I damaged my fenders. But by no means is a reflection of Big Rig Chrome Shop and or loaded fenders. But what I will say is they're tough and they're sturdy. So let's not hide the fact, let's embrace the fact that good, strong fenders for a good, strong work truck. And no, that was not a paid endorsement. I just am not gonna hide the damage I've done. We're not a show truck. I'm not putting Mobil 1 synthetic on my fifth wheel. That ain't happening. That's why we have a bucket of generic slop grease. Bucket's getting a little low. Have to get another bucket.
Where do you get that from?
Fleet. Roger. Just bought a nice new clean, see the handle's still clean, garden trowel. Just for this. Stab it in the grease, although say it's getting awful low in there. But the idea was to just stick it in there, let the grease hold it up. And a couple more services and it's gonna need a new one. All right, I'm gonna turn the lights on. I'm gonna show you this sadness. So these are originally incandescent bulbs that come off Orwell. So the flasher unit factory isn't strong enough to, or it's not enough amperage if everything's LED to make it flash. So you use at least one incandescent bulb and it'll make it work, or buy an LED flasher. So let me show you the sadness, and we're gonna go ahead and fix it, and then I'll show you, how it's supposed to be. See? Kind of sad, ain't it?
Yep.
No, you're on.
All right.
Right blade,
Yep.
left blade.
Yep.
There you go, a little bit of TLC. Now we're all set. That's better, right?